a video on something I just want to have a play around with. So, I made a white wine sauce last week that I wanted to make extremely thick so that I could let it go cold and then I could flour, egg and breadcrumb it. It was kind of a success, but the cream, I think there was just too much fat in it. So there was the fat in the beurre manier and there was the fat in the double cream, and I think for the amount of liquid that there actually was in the sauce, there was too much fat and there was too much, not enough flour in it. So the fat wanted to kind of, you could almost squeeze it out of the cold sauce. So I thought to myself, I didn't know why it happened at the time, and now I just kind of think there was obviously just far too much fat in the actual thing with the fat from the beurre manier, like I've just said. So, and then I was thinking about something that a TV chef, personality, cook said. Delia Smith said years ago when I was watching TV when I was young. She said that as long as there was fat present in milk, you could add flour and it would turn into a sauce, and it wouldn't go lumpy as long as there was fat in it. So she talked, because normally what people do is they cook flour and the fat first and then add the milk, and she just kind of said, no, just throw it all in a pan, heat it up, fat in, flour in, whisk it round, forms a sauce. But she, from what I remember, was using milk. So I kind of thought to myself, well, if there just needs to be fat present, then there's fat in double cream. So can we just add flour to boiling double cream to form a sauce? Just out of interest. So how are we going to do this? I suppose a little bit at a time. So whisking in and pouring into the sauce. Will this all go together, or will it want to clump up and not mix together? I don't know. So my question is, does the fat need to be separate from the liquid, or can it be a part of the liquid, and will it form a sauce if we boil it together? If it doesn't, it's not a problem, because I can add this mixture to something else this week. Oh, it's thickening up. I can add it to something else this week, and it won't go to waste. It's kind of working, isn't it? It's kind of gone thicker. It looks a little bit grainy. So yeah, there's definitely some globules of flour in there, but can we put the stick blender in it? I need to pause, I need to wash the stick blender. Right, so we have clean stick blender. So it's thickened up, but I can see that it's not smooth. So will this make a difference? If we turn it on, that would help. Well, that's certainly got it smooth, and it's certainly thick. So I did have, when I lived in Oxford, when I worked in Oxford, I lived in Oxford as well. The restaurant where I worked at, the chef came in one day and decided he was going to change the recipe of something, and he didn't want it was stuffed pancakes, and he didn't want a bechamel sauce over the top of them. He just wanted thickened cream, and he thickened the cream with corn flour. And you kind of go, that's basically kind of what we've done, but we've not used we've not used corn flour, we've used flour. So it's thick, it's a bit tasteless. It needs salt and pepper, but we can just add flour to cream and thicken it like that. So potentially, and it doesn't like it wants to split either. So if I wanted to do that recipe again, I could have another go, not use a beurre manière and just use flour to thicken it, or even corn flour. That would do the job, wouldn't it? Yeah, I could have thickened it with corn flour. But anyway, so we can make a creamy sauce. We don't have to have any fat in there. We can just add flour as long as we use a stick blender to get it thin, to get it smooth. That's smooth. That's smooth. You know, it needs a little bit more. It needs a little bit to be blended a little bit more, but that's smooth. That's smooth. So there we go. That will go in the soup sometime later in the week. But there we go. A little experiment and a success.